I saw the little hashtag on the videos. Is that hashtag? I think it's that. Gonzo is missing. I'm not missing. I've been here all the time. I know exactly where I am. So we've come away for a couple of days to celebrate our anniversary. Bloody good job, really, quite frankly, because it seems like everything's going to be locked down next week. So we got in just in time. And so the truth of the matter is, I didn't watch the game. I didn't watch the game at all. I had like a little sneaky, because we were having a meal. So I had like the phone like that, sort of open, the phone open and on my leg, right? And I could just vaguely see the scores coming through, but I don't know any details. So this is clearly, it's not a match report. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at the game, maybe later on tonight, Sunday, and then we'll I'll maybe give my opinion on it tomorrow. But I think I'm certainly been aware of a little bit of the fallout, certainly a little bit of the reaction. I haven't had a chance to watch anyone's videos or anything like that. But I've seen a few of the comments, because obviously on this channel quite a few West Ham comments come through on the chat and stuff like that. So I'm not oblivious to how people are feeling. I just want to take it through my perspective, because I think this is the first game I've not watched either at the stadium or 90 minutes on the telly for a very, very long time. So to give you my perspective, I think first of all, when I first checked, the first notification that came down on my secret phone, which was under the dining table, so to speak, was West Ham were winning 1-0. Now, I don't know if they're much about the ebb and flow of the game, whether we're here on top or whether it was lucky. I just thought, well, this is clearly more of the same and more of what's been going on really recently with West Ham. And sorry, I should probably go before that. I did see the lineups. Tell a lie. Sorry, I saw the lineups. Before I do that, I saw the lineups. I actually did, while we were getting ready to go down for a meal, I watched a bit of Gio's build-up show and I heard him talk about the lineup. So we had Sebastien Haller in there. I think my initial reaction was, I was pleased to see Haller in there, because I think it's a like-for-like striker. You won't convince me that Yarmolenko playing up front will work. But I think what I was hoping was that with Sebastien Haller being up front, then the team would change a bit, we get some more crosses. So I think when I saw the fornicator in there, I thought, well, hold on, he's not changed the team at all, he's just changed the striker. And clearly, you know my opinion about Sebastien Haller running around or expecting him to run around. He just won't. You've got to adapt the team and change things differently. So I think my initial opinion, my initial reaction was probably disappointment that Fornals was playing. I thought it should have been Lanzini or Benrahma perhaps starting there, and maybe a little tweak to the shape or something like that. Clearly that didn't happen. However, when I did check on my phone, I saw we were 1-0 up, and I just thought, well, what do I know anyway? You know, obviously, clearly less than David Moyes, because we were 1-0 up. Now, I've seen the goal. I've seen the goal. Sky Sports News have a little package where you can just watch the goals. It's on. You click on the thing. So I've seen Fornals' goal, and he finished it lower and into the corner, didn't he? But I think at that time I was thinking, okay, well, this is fine. This is not no problem here. And then I think the next time I checked, it was 1-0. So I wasn't checking every 5 minutes, far from it. And I think what got my attention more than anything was our lack of shots. So I thought, well, hold on, we're just not attacking. Clearly, we've gone into the lead, we've sat back, and we're not trying to attack at all. And I've spoken to someone last night, just on the phone, and they said to me, well, no, we did try and attack. Apparently Liverpool were actually defending quite well. We just didn't have many shots. Apparently we were trying to put crosses in there. It wasn't exact. The system was the same, the shape was the same, but apparently we were trying to play a little bit differently. But I still wondered why Fornals was in there, but I guess him scoring, proves Moyes right and me wrong on that score, which again is fine. But you know what, David Moyes has a lot of praise and a lot of love on this channel, as I've said before. So yeah, he can't be immune to any criticism if you're going to. So watching it, as I say, from an outsider who's not watching the game, I'm now thinking, well, come on, West Ham, have some shots. And of course, I'm looking at the substitutes, because you can see on the app whether it's got a little arrow to suggest whether a player has come in and been substituted in or not. And well, come on, let's make something happen here. I wasn't seeing any substitutions, and I think then I started very much to see Liverpool's attacking count and Liverpool's possession, and just those stats you can see on your phone, their passing percentage and possession and shots. And I think at that point we'd still had 2 shots. Now, as I understand, having spoken to someone last night, probably told a little bit of a lie, because apparently their central defender played quite well, the guy that had stood in for Virgil van Dijk. And apparently we were getting the ball in there, and he was heading out some clearances and doing some bits and pieces. So, I think, all in all, I was disappointed to see us lose, certainly, particularly having been in a winning position. I was disappointed to see the first substitution that I did see was, I think, that's what the app said, that it was Haller that came off and Yarmolenko to come on. And I'm not oblivious to the comments. I've seen lots of people ranting, and basically what I've seen is a lot of people ranting and raving about Sebastien Haller and saying he's no good and he doesn't run around. And I didn't see the game. I know this version of Sebastien Haller, the one that doesn't run around very much, by the way. You haven't got to convince me that Sebastien Haller doesn't run as much as Mikel Antonio. I know it, but I do think you've probably got to adapt the tactics to suit. Also, a lot of criticism for David Moyes as well, and that's something I want to touch on probably in a later video, because I do feel there's a lot of people wanting David Moyes to fail, or not wanting him to fail. That means West Ham fail, waiting for him to fail. Say, there you go. I told you. I think it's very much. He's going to have to be spot on in every single game. And actually, looking at it, by and large, whilst I think I was frustrated as a bystander at the lack of shots we had, whilst I was frustrated at the starting lineup, whilst I was frustrated at the substitutions, number one, he does have a lot of credit in the bank. I think Gio, we did our breakfast show, and Gio made, on the Patreon channel, Gio made the point that actually it was only one of their back 5 that was missing. And by and large, it was a very good Liverpool team. From what I could see, Henderson was playing and Salah was playing, clearly, because he was weak, by the way. I'll deal with it go in a second. Firmino and Jota, and really good players. Wijnaldum, and they had a Trent Alexander. They had a lot of good players. So we lost 2-1. It ain't too long ago that team would be thumping us, and we were in the lead. And so I think I'll give Moyes a bit of not a pass. I don't need to give him a pass. I think, bearing in mind the start to the season, I think we're better off than where we should have been, or where we thought we would be. So I think it's disappointing. There's aspects to be disappointed about for what I could see. I've got to look at the game, and I might well look at the game and think, quite differently. I certainly need to look at the game to decide what I think should be happening against Fulham. But Fulham very much is the litmus test for this one. In terms of the Salah penalty, I think I've built up enough credit doing these videos that when I see a West Ham player dive, I call it out. If I don't just say everything that goes against West Ham is harsh on West Ham. If I think somebody's done something wrong, including West Ham, I'll say it. However, this was really, really weak. I mean, was it technically, by the laws of the game, a penalty? Maybe it was, but he very much manufactured it to be so. He really did. Nobody. If I walk down the corridor out of this hotel to go and check out in a minute, and someone brushes past me, I'm like that. I'm not going to fall over. That's just not going to happen. There's not enough momentum. There's not enough force. There's not enough inertia to make you fall over and to make you fall onto the deck. And I think it was. We know what he was doing. It was gamesmanship, and it was a bit naughty. I understand why he did it. And again, I think Salah was a player I praised most in the build-up to all of this. I kept on saying, didn't I, in a build-up show and in the videos before, don't be surprised if Salah pops up and scores a goal and stuff like that. I know he's a good player, I really do, but I also know he's a diver. He absolutely is. I don't care what anyone says about it. And technically, was there some contact? Yes. So he didn't dive without any contact. I'm just saying that wasn't enough force to make him go down. Or what I'm saying is he knew there was some contact, so he made himself fall over. He pretended to fall over. There wasn't enough force to make him fall over. That's a dive in my book. And I'm also not a big one for saying that things cost us the game. Just generally, I'll say, well, hold on, you played better. However, I think when it's a 2-1 and stuff like that, you can say something like that cost us the game. And I also thought last season Liverpool were pretty damn lucky against us as well. So I think whilst it's easy to be disappointed, and you know everyone's got their own personal things about what they're disappointed about, be it substitutions, be it about Haller starting or not starting, be it Ben Rama not coming on. I noticed that was quite a feature as well. David Moyes' tactics. Everyone seems to have their own little separate annoyance about it, and as I say, I've not watched the game enough for me to be annoyed. But I think by and large we probably should and we deserved to get something from Liverpool last season. I think we either deserved to get something in this match, or at least we were very close. Does show that there's progress. The game against City shows that there's progress, and I mean I'll deal with a bigger picture in another video. But whilst it's disappointing, it's okay. It's okay. There are tweaks. I think in terms of the future and the team going forwards, I think Moyes has very much laid out a route map for himself and a route map for his team, and there's a lot to be certain about what Moyes has clearly wanted to do with his team. I do feel though that it's going to be very difficult for anybody else to get into this team. Moyes is very quickly coming to the conclusion that he has got a chosen 11. And yeah, that's going to be really, really, really tough for anybody else to get in. We'll discuss that at a later date. Later on today, Peach has sent me a video. Apologies, Peach, I've not had a look at it yet or anything like that. So I'll just upload that for everybody to see later, and I'll be back tomorrow. Maybe with a little bit more. Maybe I'll have a bit more knowledge and something like that. Right, I'm going to go and take a ride on a swan. That probably sounds wrong, doesn't it? I'm not going to have a paddle. Unfortunately, the weather's not really been, you can probably see, the weather's not really been with us today. But yesterday was really nice, and apparently it's going to brighten up in a minute. So we're going to go for a walk anyway. I'll catch up with you lot tomorrow.